Well, it's been 1 year. It's been 1 year. It's good to be back on YouTube. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Notorious Nicholas, and welcome. So last year I did nominees. I think it was my last video on my Ghost of Tsushima trailer reaction. But last year, nearly 1 year exactly, I did my nominee pick, my predictions of last year's Game Awards nominee, and I think I was 50-50. I actually don't know how accurate I was. I'm gonna skip all the esports because do you really care about esports? Now in the actual good stuff. Best debut game. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio. So pretty much best first game by a studio. This guy right here, Mortal Cell, for a debut game, and for a Souls clone, a Dark Souls clone. It's really good. Like, it's actually really good. Alright, best multiplayer game. Animal Crossing New Horizon, because sure, I didn't spend much on it, but for my time playing it, I did enjoy it. It was my first Animal Crossing as well, so I had to get used to everything while all my other friends played Animal Crossings before. Among Us, once again, it's really fun with friends, boring by yourself, or like just with random players. And Fall Guys, that's fun by yourself, and even more fun with friends. But the issue with Fall Guys is it didn't get updated. I know there's season 2, but that took way too long to come by. And if I had to choose what I had the most fun multiplayer wise, so with friends or with normal people, I'm gonna have to choose Among Us. I know it came out in 2018, but I still play it, and it's so much fun with my friends. Alright, best sim strategy game. If I had to choose for a mixture, or like just pure enjoyment, I would say Gears Tactics is the best out of the ones I played. Best family game, Crash. Fighting game. This year was really weak for fighting games. One Punch Man is this year's Jump Force. I don't know why they put it in there, but I guess they did. Probably gonna have to choose Mortal Kombat 11 because that was my fighting game of last year, if you don't count Smash Ultimate, because that came in 2018. But MK11 has been consistent with its updates and its character releases and all. You get like every 2 months, every 2-3 months you get a new character, and there's like little updates in between with like skins and all that. I haven't checked out Street Fighter 5 ever since launch, so I wouldn't personally know, so just by default I'm still gonna go by Mortal Kombat. Best role-playing game. If I did want to cheat, I would choose Persona 5 Royal because that's one of my favorite games ever. Like, straight up. But then that would leave me with Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is pretty much Persona, but in the Yakuza universe, or Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is it's that good. It's that good. It was surprisingly really long just for pretty much the first 10 to 15 hours of the original game. And it didn't feel like it dragged on, at least not to me. And the gameplay is just so good. The material system it felt fresh and like satisfying every time you got new materials just to try it out and all that. The skills with the weapons, that was also great as well. The characters, the story, the music. The music, the music, I'm dying just from Final Fantasy VII. Best action adventure. For the best action adventure game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Oh yeah, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I completely forgot about that game. I would choose Miles Morales, but although the web swinging is great and all, it didn't really change up too much. This is a toughie. I'm probably gonna have to choose Ghost of Tsushima because Ghost of Tsushima, it's sort of like Breath of the Wild, where you explore, there is a map like Breath of the Wild, but you don't really use it. You should follow the wind or the animals like the bird and the fox. And was it puzzles? No, there wasn't. There was just like mini bosses and like encounters and all that. But it had like that Red Dead Redemption feel to it, where everywhere you go, there's something new. So that's what I like about it. And the gameplay, Ghost of Tsushima's for sword skills and like its race mode and everything, it felt so refined, which is quite crazy because this is Sucker Punch's. Most of the time they did Infamous, they weren't really known for their combat. So for both professional and combat, I think I'm gonna go with Ghost of Tsushima. Best action, just straight up action on combat. See, but Doom Eternal though. Oh no. Doom Eternal's really good though. In terms of straight up combat, I'm probably gonna, because it's just a small quality of like detail Doom Eternal did to the original Doom 2016 gameplay that made it so much better, in my opinion. Best VR and AR game. Okay, I'm gonna choose Half-Life Alyx, but I want to give shoutouts to the rest of these games, especially Walking Dead, for actually being a really good Walking Dead game. I didn't think we'll get that ever since the Telltale games. Marvel's Iron Man, it's actually a really good superhero game. Star Wars Squadron, I haven't got a Thrustmaster or whatever those flight sticks are called, but apparently if you have one, it's ground changing. And Dreams is just a fun experience, but I wouldn't say it's the best VR experience I ever played. But Half-Life Alyx, it's like the peak of what VR is right now. It rivals AAA games, like normal AAA games. I never thought a VR game could be as good as like Game of the Year worthy, you know? Best mobile game, I don't care about mobile. Among Us again. Best indie, oh boy. So Hades, I won't go explain it. I won't explain why I love it too much right now. I think I already did a rant just before. Okay, with indie games, sometimes I felt like they get a bit overblown. Like Celeste is a good example. Like it's a great game, don't get me wrong. But when people are saying, oh, it's Game of the Year worthy and all that, I played it the whole way through. And I think that 100% it as well. And I thought to myself, really? I mean, I think Return of Obra Dinn was the better game. Like, better indie game of that year. And sure, like, Disco Elysium was really amazing and all that. But there are sometimes it's overhyped. Gone Home is a perfect example. But Hades, Supergiant Games really outdid themselves. They did, Bastion and Transistor and Pyre. But Hades is by far the best game they ever done. I'll also say that for now. Best performance. No matter what you think of the game, I think we can agree Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey did really good performance work, despite what you think of the game. But I would have to say Ashley Johnson, because she does, in her motion performance, I don't know if you can notice, she does really good character details. Like every time she sees the people that, alright, you all know what happened. Every time she sees someone that killed Joel, you see her hand shake a little bit or like twitch ever since that encounter, like sort of a PTSD movement. And subtle details like that and just subtle performance is what really makes her. And she says, oh, she just makes the whole room chill, especially that Joel's death scene when she's just yelling and everything. She does such an amazing job. Once again, despite what you think about the game, it has really good audio design, especially every time you kill someone, whether it's a person or dog, and infected. It sounds so detailed and gross that I love it. And the ambience from the environment, or just the music doesn't really count here, but just the gunshot, every small sound effect sounds so real, especially if you have really good headphones or good surround sound. It sounds really impressive. Like, I was shocked at how good the sound design was in this game. Ori and Hades had really good soundtrack. I do want to say fun. You know what? Fuck it. I'm saying it. Even though they should have reorchestrated and redid the music for Final Fantasy VII Remake, think about it. They reorchestrated and redid the soundtrack for Final Fantasy VII Remake. One of the best soundtracks in gaming of all time, pretty much. And it sounds incredible. No spoilers, but One Winged Angel is in this game, like the song, and it sounds fantastic. And the main theme and Aerith's theme and just everything sounds. That's it. Alright. Best art direction. Ghost of Tsushima. It gets realism and just really beautiful art style and combines it together with like the saturation on the leaves and the environment. It's really good. Like, what do you think everyone's going on Twitter with photo mode of Ghost of Tsushima and not like Last of Us or whatever? Because the game is just so beautiful. Best narrative. Hades. my boy Hades, how do I describe it? Sort of poked fun of itself and like makes a really compelling and funny and engaging narrative with all the characters. So Hades, Eurydice, Zagreus himself, the Olympians, everyone, Achilles. I never felt one character was boring compared to the rest. Every character, I always wanted to talk to them every time I finish a run just to invest more into the story and the character development. Best game direction, probably The Last of Us 2 because, okay, once again, despite what you think about the game, what they set to do, it's really good. Like the camera work, the fidelity of it all, the performance, the music placement, the sound design, the everything, pretty much how everything came together. Despite what you think about the story and all that, you can't deny like all the set pieces and all that like visually looked appealing and were pretty engaging, but then you just have to ignore there's an actual poor narrative behind it. But yeah, that's it pretty much. Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and Final Fantasy VII Remake, they all have, actually, not Final Fantasy VII Remake, but the other 3 games have pretty good game direction as well from the associated directors. But I feel like Neil Druckmann, despite what you think about him, did an actually pretty good job in terms of direction. Keyword, direction. Game of the year. Alright, I'll go through each of them. Doom Eternal, great game. Better than Doom 2016. There's a few stuff that I wish I could improve on, like the story. Maybe change the environment a bit sometime. I did feel like it got a bit repetitive in its environment sometimes. Final Fantasy VII Remake, really good RPG. There are a few quality of life things I would have liked, like saving presets for Final Fantasy, saving presets for your material would have been really nice. I would have liked it if we had hard difficulty straight out the bat instead of just playing normal first. The pacing did falter a little bit until it picked back up once you go to Shinra's headquarters. Ghost of Tsushima, it's really Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, I'll get back to that. And Hades as well. Animal Crossing, it was fine. It was my first Animal Crossing. I played about 40 hours. I really tried to get invested into it, but I just dropped it. It's not the game's fault. It's just not my type of game. And The Last of Us Part 2, ooh, you buddy, you were so close to perfection, but you had to mess up the story. Oh my god. If you just kept a solid story like you did in the first game, you would have easily won. For me at least, you would have easily won. I'm stuck between Hades and Ghost of Tsushima because both of them, respectively, I had so much fun playing this year. I never got bored. I've always was invested with the story and the characters. I was like visually impressed with what their presentation were in terms of colors, animation, and all that. And from 2 studios that I really enjoy, Sucker Punch, maybe one of my favorite franchises of all time, Infamous, and Supergiant, probably my favorite indie studio at the moment. Alright, you know what? I'm going to say who I want to win. But I feel like Hades, it feels like a AAA game, but by a small team. Does that make sense? And Ghost of Tsushima, I really love it. I played Hades as soon as it exited early access. I knew nothing about the game. I just thought, Supergiant, let's see what you got. They blew my expectation above and beyond. I keep playing it to this day. I have like 60 hours plus onto the game right now, and I still want to play like another 60 more. Now, the real thing is, who do I think will win? A lot of people think The Last of Us Part 2 is gonna win, but here's the thing. The Game Award, they like to be cheeky with their Game of the Year. 2018. Red Dead 2 is obviously gonna win. I even thought that. But then, God of War won, which blew everyone away. And, I mean, great game as well. 2019, everyone thought Resident Evil 2, or Control, or Death Stranding, like Jeff Keighley sucking off to Kojima or whatever. But no, Sekiro won. And that was really surprising as well. And once again, awarded to a really good game. So, I feel like this year will be a little surprising as well, especially no Cyberpunk. Damn, that's probably for next year. I have a feeling, okay, there is a high chance for Last of Us Part 2 gonna win, just because the jury and all the great critical reviews it got. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Doom Eternal or Ghost of Tsushima. Actually, no. Hold up. I wouldn't be surprised if Ghost of Tsushima comes in, or Hades, because I didn't get the Game Awards at Indie Game won yet. No. Ori came close, so did Celeste, but I don't think an Indie Game ever won. So imagine if the Game Award actually gave Game of the Year to an indie game. That would set Twitter on fire, I think. Oh man. Ooh, that was tougher than I thought. And 2020 nominees. Okay, yep. And before I forget, I think. Okay. Oh, and I almost forgot. Let me make some announcement prediction. By the way, I honestly, I hope so much we actually see that rumored Silent Hill game, because there's been so much talk about it. There's so many rumors, and Rely on Horror, who's very, well, reliable, no pun intended. They seem very confident that there's something at least going on with the Silent Hill as a game. Apparently there's 2 games in the world. I feel like we'll get a Smash character because Nintendo hasn't really so much this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Smash character, maybe Doom Guy or Crash Bandicoot. Those are my 2 biggest picks right now. Or maybe Dante, but I don't think Dante will be in Smash Brothers, I don't think. Bethesda. What would Bethesda show? Ooh! Elden Ring! How did I forget about Elden Ring? I don't care about Bethesda. Let's talk about From Software. Where's Elden Ring? Surely we see it at the Game Awards. Honestly, I just want to see Silent Hill. That's all I want to see. Or if that Metal Gear Solid remake is true, I want to see that as well. That's all I care about, really. But anyway, I'm a bit rusty to YouTube, but I'm glad to be back. I'm definitely hoping to update more. Fuck, maybe I should quit YouTube now. Upload more video. I have a bunch of new ideas that I want to do. More gameplay stuff, some other non-related gaming stuff that I just want to do just for fun. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.